Welcome in courtside. I'm John Liddle alongside former college coach Burton and Breanna Sorensen. The third member of our crew will be along in just a moment. And just a few days ago, maybe the biggest win of the Rob Lanier era, going to Florida State, picking up a win, leading by as many as 17 in the second half. How convincing and how much of a program shifter could a win like that be?
Yeah, I think it just gives the validation to everything that they've been building. They've been really close in a few of them. So to be able to get that win and give a preview to what's to come in the ACC next year.
Absolutely. And today they step out of conference, going up against the Huskies of HCU. This is a team that runs through the guy in the middle, Bonky Marin.
Yeah, an all-conference preseason selection. And one of those players that hasn't played his best this season yet. His field goal percentage is normally higher, but talking to their head coach, they know that he is the guy that makes this team go, and they need to get him going, especially to be able to compete against the likes of SMU's front line.
Hey, Chuck Harris really got going last time out against Florida State, hit 5 of his 10 outside shots, led the team with 24 points in the win.
As Coach Lanier would say, he's just a hooper, a guy who can put the ball in a basket in a variety of ways and has become more and more of a playmaker, a guy who can create offense for others, getting assists and being able to get others going as well. But he is a big-time threat playing his best ball right now.
Exactly. So we'll have to see if that affects him as the game goes on. As Samuel Williamson comes to the short corner and knocks down a 2. Williamson coming off a very productive game at FSU with 6 offensive rebounds. Up to Edwards to push the pace. SMU has been a good transition team this season, and Edwards going all the way to the ground but getting right back up for 2. Ambrose Hilton the pitch to Williamson, diving for 2.
Yeah, I love the way they're passing the ball and moving without the ball already in this game.
Last time SMU was at home was against A&M Commerce, and they shot 69% that day. Right now they're 3 of 3. Ambrose Hilton with the block on one end. Here comes Jalen Smith leaning in, making 4 for 4 for SMU.
To get on the board to keep him more engaged in this game.
Quick 8-0 run, then a steal by Smith. Phelps, wow, what a move, right down the baseline. What do you call that? I don't know what to call it, literally.
You call it wow.
Yeah.
That's what you call that. Big time spin and just entertaining it. Maybe he heard us talking about the Harlem Globetrotters.
Absolutely.
He wanted to give a little tribute right there.
Basil into the lane, another block by SMU. They are getting after it defensively so far. Edwards to Phelps, lining up the corner 3, and Phelps knocks it down. SMU cannot miss. What a start for the Mustangs on a 13-0 run to take a 15-4 lead, and Ron Cottrell needs time.
Yeah, here you see him putting on a show. Zurich doing what he does with a spin behind the back to a spin layup. And then in transition, wide open 3, that will be gold for SMU. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
Why is this such a big game for SMU?
That's right, John. Tonight is the last non-conference home game for the Mustangs. And Coach Lanier said he did something that he's never done before with this team. He brought out the net rankings. He asked the guys, hey, what do you think we're at right now in the rankings? And the guys replied, maybe around 100, 130. And Coach Lanier was like, no, we're ranked number 68 right now. He said he really just wanted to stress that every single game is so important from here on out, especially leading into conference play in just a few games.
Moribay out to the corner. Marcus Green now against Harris, stepping back, lets it fly over the top. And Moribay, though, coming off of a 2020 game against champion Christian, puts one back in. Breaks a 13-0 run for SMU. Out to the corner, Jalen Smith, not shy to let one fly again with 6 to shoot. Patient possession, but he takes a deep 2. Rebound tipped out by Tyreek Smith to Hudson, and rewards the big fella on the reverse.
Teams in the country in long spurts during these games. The final score doesn't show the outcome, but this team is a team that will compete with you.
Smith back out to Wright. Ricardo Wright rings up a triple. This is a capable team, but SMU is as well on both ends, and they're proving that tonight. Getting things started early by shooting 60% on the offensive end, and on the defensive end, they've forced 3 turnovers and blocked 3 shots.
Speaking of block shots, Tyreek Smith says, not in my house tonight.
With 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half, SMU leads 30-12 over HCU. And tonight, the Mustangs are hosting their annual Champions for Literacy game. This is the 10th straight season celebrating CFL. Jonathan Wilfong, a 2017 SMU graduate, and Andrew Renshaw founded CFL in 2012. CFL raises money to support effective local literacy programs, and schools focus on educating elementary and middle school students. And you can see tonight all the coaches wearing little green pins in support of the cause.
Outstanding, Bree. It's a great cause, just continues year after year, celebrating a decade, as you mentioned. Williamson against the shot clock with a nice little move and a floater. Phelps goes baseline, wraps it around. Williamson, patient, comes through the other side. Phelps tries to tip it back in, but it's right to Williamson once more. Flying in. No, but yes. For Keon Ambrose Hilton.
Shout out to the SMU volleyball team winning the championship. Maybe they inspired this SMU basketball team.
The blocks,
the block,
the tips,
I mean,
the assist. That's a volleyball thing too.
Shout out Coach Erger at home. Coach of the year. Let's go.
You know she's watching. Catch and shoot three by Dominic Capriotti. Capriotti coming off a triple fest against Champion Christian, where he knocked down 4 of them and hits one here. In this time at Lincoln, Nebraska's Northeast High School. Raising a 3, Marcus Green knocks one down. Back-to-back triples for HCU after missing their first 7.
3, HCU trying to figure out how to slow down this SMU offense, though.
Chuck Harris finally getting into the flow after the early injury. His first 2 coming off the 24 at FSU.
Yeah, I think Chuck feels like every shot is like an and one right now because he's getting frustrated with his hand, but beautiful stroke. That young man can score from anywhere on the floor.
Oh, nice job by the 2 brothers to get into it as Pierce dumps it off to Porter for 2. Porter Basil, the Nebraska Defensive Player of the Year. Also a state medalist in the high jump. Oh, my goodness.
Speaking of high jump.
Putting people on a poster, and Phelps comes right back in. It's time to tap the head, I think, Brian.
Ooh-wee. Dear mama, there goes that man. Is there a trampoline? I didn't even see it. He looked like man. I mean, this is video game type of bounce right there. Samuel Williamson with straight authority. I love the fact he not only made it, but that he decided to attempt it. And he kind of was not sure if he was going to do it. And then when he decided, boy, did he decide.
Welcome back into Dallas. SMU on top of Houston Christian. Coming up on the 28th, SMU going bowling, playing Boston College in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Spicy. 10 o'clock Central on December 28th. You can watch it live on ESPN and your ESPN app as well.
Complete effort on both sides of the ball. Unselfish, making the extra pass, shooting from 3. Getting to the foul line. There's another one, just making it look easy. I mean, they're rolling on all cylinders. Defensively, they're getting nothing easy. There's no let up. Defensive engagement was the reason he credited the Florida State win. And that engagement has not stopped.
Oh, Basil has hops. Porter Basil, who blocked over 100 shots as a senior last year, got up to grab that offensive board. Evidently, Sammy Williamson not the only one. Ricardo Wright with a 3-pointer right over Dominic Capriotti.
SMU.
22 of the 49 points came from the SMU bench, but these 2 came from Zurich Phelps. And the Mustangs throwing a block party as well in Dallas. SMU up big on Houston Christian. Yakking at the half.
Yeah, I spoke to Coach Cottrell about what adjustments he has for the second half. He said we just have to make shots. You're not going to win a game going 2 for 12 from 3. He said it's something they've been struggling with all season, but he needs to see those adjustments and making shots in the second half.
Edwards out to Phelps. Ball fake, slashes, gives it up to Williamson for another dunk.
Yeah, just the focus of this team. They're not letting up in any way, shape, or form. I love Ambrose Hilton hedging the ball screen to really make it hard on the other end. And Phelps just taking his time. Easy shot fake, scoop, pass to Samuel Williamson. He didn't even need the trampoline that time. Just an easy 2-hand finish. I think that might have been what he was thinking. Maybe not.
I think this Husky team is a little bit shell-shocked just with the way SMU has played as Williamson twists and turns and hits another bucket.
Well, I love what Coach Lanier had to say. He said, we may not have the logo that's as recognizable as some of the Power 5 teams, but if you look at them statistically and where they rank not only in the net but in some of the defensive categories, they are one of the best teams in the country. And you don't expect that coming in to be down 30 when you've played against Texas and some of these teams ranked in the top 25 that are you had a closer competitive first half with.
30-point lead for SMU. Fall away Jay off the mark by Green, but on the offside, Burton Basil puts it back in. In a big-time effort here against SMU. Ambrose Hilton right back up. A rare miss for the young man, but he gets right back on the pogo stick to lay it with the left hand. He had that 9 of 9 effort against Commerce and has only missed once since. Basil to the rack, but blows the dunk. SMU back the other way. Ambrose Hilton lays it home. The top by Pierce Basil. Harris up the floor, lobs it. Phelps to bring down the rim. This team as athletic as it gets and so fun to watch. Zurich Phelps rocking the rack. SMU's rocking the Huskies.
Yeah, Coach Lanier had quite the recruiting journey when recruiting Chuck Harris. Coach Lanier was actually in Washington, D.C. recruiting Denver, England when he got a call from Omar Lowry, who recruited Chuck at Baylor. Omar told Coach Lanier, hey, tomorrow we have a guy who's entering the transfer portal. His name is Chuck Harris. Are you interested? He's from the Northern Virginia area. And Coach said, of course, and he wanted to cancel his flight to go from D.C., and he did it. And next day, Chuck's name was in the transfer portal. So his coach said he met that day with his parents and flew to Annapolis immediately after to go talk to Chuck himself, and the rest was history. Coach Lanier said good thing he was able to cancel that flight. It was perfect timing and definitely meant to be.
He's trying to run ahead, and that bounce pass stolen by Ricardo Wright. He got back, but has his pocket picked by Marcus Green. The follow shot goes down for Pierce Basil on the hustle. Shaheem Hudson backing his way in against Basil and muscles his way for two. Along with FAU. Phelps on the miss as the starters are back in for the most part. Williamson misses inside, but Mojai gets on the offensive boards for two. The points are going to come, Coach Lanier says. It's about the defensive effort. Chuck Harris draws out Chiachara and sprints right past him.
And just as you blink, Zurich Phelps with the steal and the hammer.
You can't blink, my friend.
Offensive rebounded 11 of those.
As Harris knocks down the three. That's going to be a second chance bucket. Games you played against D1 teams. Basil to the cup. No, but Imarabe pogo sticks it back in. Harris. Oh, coming from the other side, Williamson. Another highlight reel stop. It has been a fun night in Dallas.
Little mix right there off the bounce. Doesn't even need to touch his other hand on a beautiful layup. And here you see the replay of it. Blows him in the dust for the easy layup. And then the dunk by Zurich Phelps. Where did he come from? No one knows. We'll be back.
They've started the season. Lob up for Tyreek Smith. It was just an odd angle. Right back the other way. Marcus Green going to the cup. Hudson rolls down a three, but he's got that. Shaheem Hudson, 7th three on the season. John Liddle back with Brian Burton, Breanna Sorensen, and Tyreek Smith. Another jam for the Mustangs. Three-pointer goes down for Ricardo Wright. Wright rattles one home for his third three of the evening.
In the scout team being able to simulate what they're going to see in games.
Xavier Foster, you're going to look at the raw athleticism of the kid from Iowa. The SMU Mustangs led by 25 at the half, and they go on to win it big over the Houston Christian Huskies, 89-53, the final score.
Sam, 18 points and 8 rebounds tonight. Great offensive and defensive execution by the Mustangs here tonight. Just how complete did this win feel?
I don't know about complete, but I felt really good. Come out here and take care of business on a good team, a team that plays hard. We're really starting to pride ourselves on the defensive end, and I'm really excited in the direction where we're headed.
Now, I have to ask about that Sports Center worthy dunk that you had. I mean, just how much fun were you having out there? Walk me through that dunk.
It's a lot of fun. I've been telling my teammates I've been looking for a body for a while, and I've had a couple opportunities so far this season that I missed, and so it felt really good to get that one.
You got it. And Coach Lanier has been stressing about how every single one of these games matter leading up into conference play just a few weeks away. How ready does this Mustang team feel?
Really ready. You know, the feel around this team is a lot different. A couple games early in the season that, you know, we let slip away from us that we felt like we should have won. And, you know, I feel like we're really starting to get this thing going in the right direction, headed into conference play, which is, you know, the perfect time to get things rolling on all cylinders.